right.
I was looking for the quote here. Hey, good afternoon. It's that type of news. I am Dutch Permit, and this is some guy that walked in. I think it got dark in here.
This weather's crazy. Must be the clouds hitting the firmament. Either way, the earth is not flat, it is round. I was just kidding. I digress. So what was David Brett doing last week?
Well, I was just reading the article.
Let me pull it up myself.
May Day marches.
May Day marches.
I actually have read this article before, but the reason why we decided to mention Mr. Burt directly is because we are wondering and we are perplexed by why a leader of the opposition party is alongside a union rep around the time of election season, when the union's responsibility is to put a foot in both the faces of the government, not just one side of the government. So to see the opposition leader present at, and this is not the first one obviously, but he actually said in some of these articles that he considers the union his partners. So to me, and I'm going to tell you this right now, I do believe that we have a huge employment issue and crisis in this country, and I do believe that employers need to be held accountable.
But employers aren't even being attacked right now.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Retail workers, some of them make between $7 and $12 an hour. I don't see the union going after that. I don't see the union going after all the benefits that have been taken from other certain jobs. I don't see the union going after the underpay and bad working conditions, but I do see them going after the government. So you don't want to come after us saying, oh, we're biased and we're disrespectful to the union, but the union's not even doing what it's supposed to do.
I'm saying all of these union dues that are paid to the union, and they can't compensate.
I feel bad for all the money that I sent to the union. I feel like taking all of it back and sending it to one of the charities instead.
But why can't they? I did that. I switched from there. But I don't understand why in the world is so many labor issues not being fought for at this current moment. I mean, as a union, I'm just going to throw out a suggestion. I don't know exactly the inner workings, but I'm going to throw out a suggestion. Why is it that when a job position comes available, a lot of Bermudians are telling us that, oh, they get denied for jobs they qualify for? This is a union issue, right? And I'm saying, where is the system in place that employs unemployed Bermudians? Because the union only represents employed Bermudians, but then wants to complain about the employment crisis, but does not represent unemployed Bermudians. I don't understand that. Where is the system in place for when a job opens at, let's say, Talker's Point, and you have the credentials? Why can't you challenge or find a Bermudian qualified for that job and challenge Talker's Point or whoever? I'm just saying a name, not incriminating Talker's Point for it. But why can't you challenge one of these employers as to why this Bermudian can't be in that position?
Or even better, why can't the union support young Bermudians that come away and can't get a job? Waiting tables just so they can make some money, rather than getting a job in the field. All I see the union doing these days is attacking the government.
And rubbing shoulders with the PLP, nothing new there.
And that's what scares me. That's what really scares me, because if the labor union is, pushed with the PLP, they're marching with the PLP, you have the PLP leaders marching with the union people saying, let them out, when they were charged for illegally breaking the law. I mean, Malcolm X was marching in the street saying, let them out. They didn't do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
They did something wrong. They broke the law. We've been through this.
But then at the end of it...
Oh my God, I'm tired of talking about this damn protest.
But at the end of it, then he always says, oh, it was processing, or what was it? Protocol. Sorry.
Protocol? Protocol for what?
No, I'm saying that's why they were held in. They were not let out yet because of protocol.
Okay.
So I'm saying, that's why I'm asking, why is it that being the championed issue right now when you have people in hospitality who are chasing after the gratuitous, chasing after the jobs, being treated like crap, right?
Or even people that are unionized. I'm not gonna speak of the company's name, but I know some people that are unionized that their pay was dropped, their overtime hours were taken, their insurance was increased, and they're making less money and not having to pay more.
Yeah.
That seems like a union issue, and these people are unionized.
And I wonder why the PLP is sitting here playing he said, she said. It's like, oh, this is what the OBA hasn't done. But what have you done?
But this is what I don't get. How can you as the PLP say that Wayne Scott needs to resign because of the conflict of interest, but you're marching with the union in the street? That is a blatant, in face of everybody conflict of interest. Because if you are bullying with the union to force the OBA to do stuff, that's not right.
It's a conflict on both ends.
You know what, Wayne Scott? Enjoy your new position. I'm happy you got it now.
Yeah.
But this is ridiculous. Because how can you say that, oh, these people need to resign, and then you come in the street marching with these lot, say, oh, let them out when they illegally broke when they illegally broke the law?
Illegally?
When they illegally broke the law. Let me tell you something. If I get arrested for something, I better see the same thing up on my street.
Nope, you won't.
I better see David Burton, the union, saying, no, let him out because he didn't pay his phone bill.
Nope, you won't. You won't. Because at the end of the day...
Didn't you get arrested for not paying your phone bill?
Well, I mean, that is cool, but I mean...
Oh, no.
Don't really. But
either way,
at the end of the day, you have a union whose sole purpose is to defend the workers.
No, it's not. Its purpose is not to defend the work. Its purpose is to defend the PLP and attack the OBA. And that's why I have no respect for the union.
Well, a union by definition.
By definition, yes, but
Okay.
we don't have a union by definition. We just have a bunch of people yelling, "Let them out in the streets" when they were rightfully in prison for breaking the law.
I understand.
You don't want to get me started.
I understand that.
How about that?
I'm just trying to figure out. I see a lot of articles about more funding for education. I see a lot of articles about what the OBA hasn't done, and I see a lot of articles about this. But what I don't see is actual solutions. You see, the unions are not providing solutions, and the PLP is not providing solutions. You see, no matter how much money I put into the education system is flawed. And yes, I do criticize the OBA for having this ping pong with education ministers because it's foolishness. It is absolute foolishness. And the thing is, that's a failure on both sides of the aisle. But at the end of the day, who is really in there with the teachers union trying to actually put aside a way to reform our education system? Because why is it that we wait for the government to reform it? Why is it that if we vote the PLP and that's when education reform needs to start? Or why is it when the OBA is in, this is when it needs to start?
I thought education reform was supposed to start under you at Brown, but it didn't.
Well,
Either way, that's another topic for another day. What really bothers me is Jason Hayward. Jason Hayward was there trying to let them out. When we went to the People's Campaign with Jason Hayward, I'm not gonna lie, me and Dutch were actually rather impressed with what he had to say.
Great speaker.
I thought, you know what? He's got something. So why haven't you provided solutions to all the things that you spoke of in the People's Campaign meeting? Why haven't you come to us or somebody to explain what's going on? Why is everything the union and the People's Campaign doing attacking the OBA instead of providing solutions? Now, this isn't even us trying to defend the One Bermuda Alliance. This is us asking what the hell is going on.
We're trying to defend the people. Because at the end of the day, our government going tit for tat versus the opposition in the ruling house is not getting anything done.
That's what I'm saying. Because, I mean, the OBA is just going to be like, okay, well, you know what? Why? I'm just going to do what I'm going to do regardless. And the PLP and the unions just sitting there laying siege to the gate saying, oh, let them out because they shouldn't be in jail, even though they broke, well, they're not in jail, but they shouldn't be in holding whatever they're in, even though they legally broke the law.
Well, my thing is, at the end of the day, when you have numbers and charts and bars, see, one thing, can I speak to the accuracy of the OBA's charts, bars, and graphs and statistics? I can. You know why? Because I'm not actually in there. So I can't say, oh, these are accurate. But at least they bloody have them. Because at the end of the day, what I see from the PLP is a lot of this and that.
And he said, she said, we need to, and you young people need to know your history, and this and this and this.
Show us the Carfax. You know what I mean? Like,
show us something.
At the People's Campaign meeting that we attended, it was actually a lot of constructive things said concerning this country.
Yeah.
And I was actually thoroughly impressed, especially with Mr. Hayward, as far as these solutions and things he was putting forward.
Even what Chris Fervin and Reverend Tweed was saying had merit to it. But now, all of that's going out the window for me. I'm sorry, but I am legitimately upset by this. Because as a young person in this island, what am I supposed to think about what's going on for me if I see the political parties bickering and one of them using the union to help them bicker? That's all I see. Yeah. I don't see a bunch of adults and older Bermudians trying to preserve the island for us younger people. I see a bunch of people squabbling over nothing.
And then the thing is, right, Chris Ferber says in one article that the union is finished standing up for the people because the people don't support the union. That was not a direct quotation, but that's pretty much in summary what was said. And at the end of the day, how do you expect to get the people's support
if you don't support the people?
You need to be championing. Like, let me tell you something. I would jump behind the union if I was reading articles or seeing in the news that the union has employed this many Bermudians, or the union has taken on Hamilton Prince, whoever, not just Hamilton Princess, but taking on these employers and actually forced Bermudians into these jobs. Because you have a lot of people who work with me at my current job who have degrees and can't get into the field. And it's jobs.
Does it work in Marketplace? No, I'm not trying to demean Marketplace or anything. It's a good paying job. But if you got a degree for, let's say, what's a school degree?
Well, I purposely didn't mention my place of employment, but by all means, carry on.
Anyway, let's say you got a degree in psychology. Why can't you get a job in your field in psychology?
But this is what I'm saying. You have people. If I was in the union and if I was a headhunter union, I mean, I don't know if you can do this, but I'm just gonna throw out a suggestion. Why not have a sheet or something drawn up of all unemployed Bermudians and their qualifications? Mm-hmm. And whenever a job is advertised or whenever a job is promoted or whenever a position is opened up, the union should be right there at that employer's doorstep, send a representative, because you got plenty of them to march in the street. You should have plenty enough to send to each employer, and as soon as that job opens up, here's a resume that we have of someone who's qualified for that job. And if they deny you that, that's when you have a cause.
There you go.
You have a cause to champion. If they deny you that job, if someone's resume and credentials right there in front of them,
every time a Bermudian's wrongly terminated, I want to see the union out there. Every time a Bermudian can't get a job and has the qualifications to get a job, I want to see the union out there. Anytime there is an actual work debate. Because I remember the union coming and talking to my old job and they would have meetings and everything, but I don't remember anything really getting done. Like, I don't see this. All I see is marching in the streets against the OBA. And frankly, I'm disappointed.
Because you got a lot of jobs and hospitality that Bermudians can do. And you cannot tell me that a Bermudian can't take a tray and bring it to a table. You can't tell me that. There's no reason why you should not be challenging employers. Because at the end of the day, what we have to realize in this country is that the employment crisis has nothing to do with the government. The employment crisis has to do with employers and who they deem fit to employ. And at the end of the day, if you as a union are not going to hit these people who are employing,
then what are you doing?
What are you doing? That is your function.
We might as well run the union.
Yeah, because my thing is, okay, yes, there's a lot of mumbo jumbo, there's a lot of this and a lot of that, but expose them. I mean, you're so quick to call names of our politicians. Why not call the names of employers that are not hiring Bermudians? Why not put them out there, just put the spotlight right on them and say, hey, this guy is not hiring Bermudians and this is someone you shouldn't be supporting.
And listen, I don't want to see in our comments today, oh, well, if you came to the People's Campaign meetings, we would have talked about this, or if you would have spoken to this, you would have talked about this, or if you would have learned about this, you wouldn't be saying that. Listen, we are talking about this because this is not what we see in the public. This is not what we see in the newspaper. This is not what we see on burners. This is not what we see in the streets. What we see in the streets is the union campaign and protesting against the One Bermuda Alliance. Do you have a problem with you protesting against the OBA? I have no problem with it. If you have a good reason for protesting, then that is your right to protest. But why is the leader of the PLP, the potential premier for the island in the next election, marching with the union? That is a direct conflict of interest.
Oh, but guess what? Guess what? They said in our last video we did, they said, you shouldn't be saying the union was brought to court because, you know, the People's Campaign reps are brought to court. But yet, here I see industrial union thing, and I have Mr. Tweed from the People's Campaign. He's also there.
And Jason Hayward.
Yeah.
Jason Hayward was Jason Hayward? No, he was in the protest. He wasn't getting.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You have the People's Campaign and union walking hand to hand, but then when we say their names interchangeably, it's an issue. No.
And my thing is, wasn't David? What was he quoted saying? We stand with our brothers in the union or whatever.
Yeah, our partners.
Partners. Now, last time I checked, the union not supposed to be a political entity. So how is it that the PLP and the union are partners? Even if the PLP and the union technically aren't partners, why is the leader of the PLP saying it? If the leader saying it, I'm sorry, but if Michael Dunkley said that, you know what, we're partners with HSBC, then guess what? The OBA is partners with HSBC.
And that's corruption.
And that is corruption.
How about that?
How about that?
Because the PLP has already admitted before that they have more work permits underneath them than the OBA has in current government. However, their cop-out for that was there was more jobs available. But just because there was more jobs available doesn't mean you need more work permits. You see what I'm saying?
Shouldn't that be more Bermudians instead of work permits? Or would that be less work permits?
Exactly.
Sounds a little fishy to me.
And that's my issue is that when we squabble in politics, solutions get lost in the fray. You know what I mean? It becomes this party, that party, but solutions are kind of the secondary thing. You know what I mean? I just want to see a debate that takes place where someone is actually talking about legitimate education reform, and it's not about putting more money into it because you're putting money into something that's broken.
You can't just throw money at something. Money does not solve everything. You like all I hear from the union and PLP members is, you love to know nothing about your history. Well, why haven't you championed for these schools to teach Bermudian history rather than American?
Yeah, you have high school BDA history, but the thing is,
In what grade?
what I'm saying is
What grade?
high school.
No, why is that in high school? You should be teaching elementary schools about that. When I grew up in the States. When I was in the second grade, I learned that in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue and discovered America. When I was 17, I learned that he was a genocidal maniac and learned that was all wrong. But regardless, why is it that our second, P2, P3, I don't know, I don't understand Bermudian, whatever. Why is it that 6 and 7 year olds in school aren't learning one day Bermuda has discovered Bermuda? Why aren't they learning about the sea vents? Why aren't they learning about why Bermuda was called Devil's Eye because the P's were making so much noise that the sailors thought the island was possessed? Why are they not learning about what happened at Spanish Point, the Spanish Rock?
Or about Dan Lewis Brown.
That's what I'm saying. Or Mary Prince. Why are they not learning about this stuff?
But that's one issue. But the biggest issue I find that I feel is a huge issue is that we don't make our workforce competitive. And this is the biggest issue. We have a school system that it graduates you. You know, you spend 4 years in high school, and some people graduate with 1 or 2 GCSE, and that's it. Now we have a system now that's coming to place, which is IGCSE, where it's like basically getting people to do this, but at the same time, where is our measuring stick for international? Like, why is it that somebody with a work permit, RAPSI, dwarfs us? You know, like dwarfs us. And the thing is, the rap sheet's so dwarfed, right? And it's so much bigger than ours, but they come here to wait tables. See what I'm saying? So it's like, why is it that we, as a country, are not talking about that issue where we are not making Bermudians competitive on an international scale? It's like, in order for us to get competitive Bermudians, they have to go away and they don't come back. So the thing is, how can we retain Bermudians to influx our workforce with skilled workers? You know how? One way might be to bring back trade schools. That might be one way. Because just because you're not analytical like some people doesn't mean that you're stupid.
Now listen, everybody that's in the union right now, please take notes of what we're saying. Because clearly, someone's got to, dictate.
I'm telling you, if you guys out there marching for trade schools, I'd come out.
We'll be marching with you.
I will come out.
What?
I really would.
You will see the biggest support from us. But y'all want, no. Y'all want to say, let them out. They're wrongfully charged for this. No, they're not.
Yeah, trade school, technical school, anything. I would be out there. Because at the end of the day, our country has a lot of people here that are skilled with their hands, but can't get the papers, can't get this, can't get that. You would have a lot of people employed.
That's what I'm saying. Now, honestly, we asked this question a few weeks ago on one of our episodes. As young people, we are worried, we are concerned, and we are scared to be here. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry to put this, but at this point, it's more attractive for us to go away and stay away than it is to stay in our own country. Now, we asked the OBA and the PLP to send somebody to talk to us. We got a couple of people from the OBA that's like, listen, I would love to come on the show to come talk to you guys. I ain't heard nothing from the PLP yet. Maybe because they're sitting there marching in the streets and not listening to us. But once again, I'm going to put this out there. Someone from the PLP, please call us. Because right now, I'm pissed off of you lot. I'm pissed. Because how am I, as an undecided voter, going to vote for you when all I see is you lot marching in the streets saying, oh, let them out, or we partner with the union and all this and present the problems and not solutions? How am I supposed to vote for you if you ain't doing nothing for me?
Or giving us legitimate reform.
Something. Give us something.
That's for both sides. That's for both sides. Legitimate reform is what I want. I want to see a step-by-step program of how we are going to create competitive Bermudians. How are we going to create Bermudians that can fit into the infrastructure of this global economy? How are we going to get Bermudians to be more appealing to employers? Because at the end of the day, as an employer, our employer's duty is not to this country. An employer's duty is to their business. And if we can make Bermudians more attractive to an employer, they will hire them. And at the end of the day, we need to be the ones twisting the employer's arms to say this is Bermuda and you need Bermudians up in your store, or you don't have it.
I think we just need a new union.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it, but the old one's not doing anything for
not
us.
a new union, it's new heads. That's all.
New heads. No, I want a whole.
Because I'm saying it's the head that turns the snake. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, if you are not going to bring the fight to employers, then you shouldn't be fighting anybody. There should be nobody else should be fighting until
Let alone the government.
Until you have these employers.
If anything, if the union really wanted to get something done, if anything, they should be presenting the government with solutions, not causing problems. You know what? I ain't got nothing else to say about this. I'm done.
It's that type of news. I'm Dutch Spearman. Bruce Robinson. How about that?